The explanation is quite straightforward. It begins on the 11th of December 2024 in London, where we had the big tractor protest against the newly introduced inheritance tax. It was put on for statute at that point. There was 400 or 500 tractors, and Farmers for Action were there supporting that protest. And there's been many more protests in England since then, and a lot of them around Westminster at key days on the progress of this alien bill. And now this bill will put 50% of the farmers out of business across the UK if things are not changed. And yes, last Christmas the threshold was put up from 1 million to 2.5 million, but that still leaves 50% of the farmers out across the UK. So English farmers and Welsh farmers and Scottish farmers had done their bit heading to Westminster, along with Farmers for Action from Northern Ireland, and that's still ongoing, and the bill will come into operation at the beginning of April. There is a court case in London on the 17th and 18th of March. There could be one in Northern Ireland with our connection to the EU. So we're here tonight because this completes 6 weeks of protests at Tesco supermarket. You ask, why is that the case? Well, the reason is because we have written to 11 of the largest supermarkets in the UK, and the questions are simple. Everyone is well aware of the lobbying power these supermarkets have with government. So question 1 asks them, if you tick the box yes or no, will you lobby government to do away with the inheritance tax? Question 2 asks, will you lobby government to put in place a UK-wide farm welfare bill to ensure that farmers are paid a minimum of the true cost of production plus a margin inflation link for their produce? Question 3 asks that they will lobby government to put an end to imports of substandard food. Question 4 asks that the government will put in place legislation to put an end to mislabelling. Now, those are 4 reasonable questions from family farmers across the UK and from consumers who want to know that farmers will still be in business to produce the food that they eat on their table.
Yeah.
And in a world of turmoil, this has to be top of the table in Westminster, because food security is a massive issue. And today, if the ships couldn't sail, the UK could only feed 48% of its people. So there's going to be a lot of hungry people if things go wrong.
Yeah.
So that is basically it summed up, other than to say that we expect the replies from these 11 retailers all to be in our possession by the 14th of March. After that, we will compile a report on how many said yes and how many said no. So far we have 4 replies which have been fudge letters, so we take those as no answers, and this is not a surprise to us. So the report will then give us strength to go forward to make the case that farmers cannot win against the might of these large food corporates and corporate food wholesalers, and indeed corporate food processors.
Yeah.
So we've got a plan,
Okay.
and we're getting there.
Okay. Thank you, William. Thank you.